All right. Sorry.
I feel like you should have. That's how you should. It's just the code open.
The code.
Well, I forgot the code open is
Spoilers.
the victorious video.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that there.
All
This
right.
is my Victoria's Secret bra. I could actually hook this under my boobs, but I'm fat.
And that's the cold open.
There we go. So that's wrestling. It's real to me, damn it. I'll cover you. I'm doing
This is
Botchamanias. Yeah.
There.
All right. 3, 2.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, we're here to talk about some wrestling. Especially if you clicked on the video, you know what we're talking about. So, last week was SummerSlam and NXT Takeover Brooklyn Part 2. And I went to it, and it was pretty fun. And if you listened to the last episode of Punch-Out, you heard we gave our predictions. I am Brenden.
And my name is Big Cass.
Wait, you messed that up?
No, you say I'm Brenden. Oh, and I'm supposed to say he's Big Cass. That's what I meant to say.
you
That's why.
messed it
You know
up.
what's funny? I planned it in my head, and I meant to say that, and then I freaked out.
You know, that's why they say you can't teach that.
That's true.
Bada boom. Fattest guys in the room. How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh,
All
so
right,
yesterday I went to the Mets game and they were winning by a lot. So in the outfield, I guess the 7-line army, who's their like hardcore fan base, they started chanting like towards the late innings. They were like, "That pitcher is SAWFT," and then everybody in the outfield is like, "So."
That's awesome. That
That's
makes me happy.
fantastic. So we got a couple.
Can't stop
wrestling
burping
notes.
today. Yeah. So a lot of shit happened in the wrestlings.
We're gonna start off last week. We're gonna get through this quick because we don't want this video to be too long.
Hey, dude, this is our very first official wrestling only talk. You know.
This is true. We got to find a
So-
name for it. So guys at home, if for the 10 of you that listen, please find us a
We
name.
really got to find a way to promote this stuff.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
But yeah, man, we need a new name. We have some things in mind. But we would like to hear some thoughts. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is
Body Slam the podcast. No, I'm joking.
Body Slam that podcast. Podcast out of nowhere.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Anyway.
I like the Body Slam that podcast.
So before we start getting into it too much, let's talk about NXT Takeover Brooklyn.
Okay. So the first couple notes that I have over it is I was there.
Yeah.
Because I keep saying 9,000 times, and I'm gonna go over the
That was
NXT.
just so fun. Like just the electricity in the
energy,
air.
yeah, the energy. You know what I love? What the Brooklyn crowd has over the Full Sail crowd, where the Full Sail crowd at times wants to make the show about themselves, and they'll chant throughout the whole show. Like, it's like, all right, we get it. You're clever. You're making some chants. But at times, like, shut up and let me watch the match. Where it was funny, too, because during Brooklyn, there you had those one or two guys that wanted to chant for everything. And we were like, nah, let's enjoy the match. You paid it to
had
get...
their moment.
Yeah.
And they would not stop singing Nakamura's theme.
Yeah, but that's a
whole nother.
that's awesome.
a whole nother thing.
Well, no, but you know, you pay money to sit down and watch this stuff live, and it's a big arena.
Yeah.
Like during the entrances is fun. Like during the opening, parts of the match is fun. But like when it's like in the middle of, or if it's a rest hold, like that's okay. But if it's like in the middle of the high action spots, like shut up and watch it. Watch the reactions. Watch the near falls. And with that, speaking of that, so when we were sitting down and I was waiting for the show to start, I wanted to start a 10 chant because my boy Ty Dillinger needed some love. So I figured, hey, they weren't going to put him on the show. So NXT starts, the theme comes on, everybody gets hyped. Well, how they edit it on this week's episode is you saw a jump cut. So it went from, like, the theme, and then, bam, Ty Dillinger came out. There was, like, a good 6 minutes between the end of the theme song and Ty Dillinger coming in. And so if you know his Titantron, it starts off like that one.
Yeah.
It's the countdown. When the one came up on the screen, and they kind of like edited it so you could hear the music. Dude, it was so loud in there. Everybody was like, yeah! And then when the 10 happened, everybody was just like, 10, 10, 10, 10.
I've warmed
10,
up to
10.
that guy. I really have.
Well, if you're a smart like I am, a wrestling smart mark, whatever the fuck they want to call it. Ty Dillinger's always been that guy that's been stuck in NXT, kind of like as enhancement talent to get the people over that they sign. And when Sami Zayn was hurt and came back, he was the one that was helping him get back into ring shape and stuff like that. So he's like one of those. He's like how Tyler Breeze was. He's the new Tyler Breeze.
Gotcha.
Where Tyler Breeze he's good, but they don't want to give him anything, and now he's in Breezango. But more on that in a minute. He fought Wesley Blake from Blake and Murphy. So guys used to come out with Alexa Bliss, and he had the Pure Moods, like track 5 as his theme music, which at first I was like, this is stupid. But then as it kept going, I was like, that's pretty dope. Stupid. That's how you make somebody hate somebody. Give him like really shitty, smooth jazz music. And fucking Ty Dillinger beat him with a Shining Wizard and got the craziest pop. Then
that is such a cool fucking name. Anyway.
What?
Shining Wizard.
Oh, yeah. The
Hurricane
Shining used to do it a lot.
The Shining Wizard podcast. Anyway, continue.
That'd be amazing. So then the second match on the show was the Authors of Pain.
I love those guys.
With D'Lo Brown. As I call him, New D'Lo Brown. Because he looks just like D'Lo Brown. He started doing D'Lo Brown moves and started doing D'Lo Brown mannerisms. And I was like... when he did that, I was like, he's going to... If he starts shaking his head, I'm like, that's D'Lo Brown.
The Authors of Pain, I think... They're introduced as these like just these brutes. They're
like pretty the Samoan much like Death Squad.
Yeah, like they're like these stone golems that came to life because of this dude. And
fucking
like
wizard Paul Ellering.
So like, but you know what it is? It's to me they're missing that kind of like personality that like the Road Warriors had. You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling I really do feel like the Authors of Pain could be like the new Road Warriors, and. Dude, I really do think so. I really do think so. But they're just
That's
not.
A bold claim.
Hey, look, man, I like them.
Well,
I like the way they came in.
They don't sell. They never sold anything, and they just beat people up.
Yeah, that's why I like them. But that's the thing about the Authors of Pain. I think now, they feel kind of like because of their introduction, they feel kind of like they're just there. They don't have I don't feel like they have a good enough presence yet. And I want to see more from them. I want to see more from the Authors.
Well, they're both not young. The one that I call Millie
Rock?
Millie Rock, yeah. Minnie D'Lo Brown, he's only 19.
Jesus Christ. They have names.
They
said them at TakeOver.
Acham, and Razor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like the characters names. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But they defeated the team of TM61.
Yeah,
Nick Miller
and Shane Thorne. To. We all knew they were going to.
They're a good tag team, though. Those guys from Australia. I remember I was telling you their name before. It was like, I want to get this right. Oh, the Mighty Don't Kneel, that's like such a better name. Why not just give them that name? Anyway, so that ended. But when they announced Paul Ellering, the fucking crowd erupted too. They like them old guys. All right, so then we're gonna get into Takeover, which was in Brooklyn again in the Barclays Center. It was pretty packed to the gills on that one. There was a few empty seats, but the fucking crowd was hot from the minute the fucking thing started to the ending. You okay over there?
Mm-hmm. I'm having fun with this little thing.
I know, I can tell.
That's my penis.
Boom. So your favorite. The show starts off with your boy coming out.
Yes.
No Way Jose.
My least favorite wrestler of all time. Yes.
And well, actually no. I'm talking about the starting package, the little tribute video that they did, the opening video.
Yeah.
Where Nakamura sits down. Dude, when that video starts and Nakamura gets on the screen, Barclays Center's just like. And then shit. And then you get your boos and your cheers. Only I think 2 or 3 people got booed during that whole video package. Bayley. No, as much as you hate Bayley, no. It was
Thank you, Bayley.
Cien almost. They really don't like that guy. He's pretty terrible. The Revival. Who are pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, people don't like the Revival, but I feel like they're old school wrestling heels.
Yeah.
And No Way Jose.
They booed for No Way Jose?
They booed No Way Jose in the video, which was quite ironic because then when he first comes out.
Yeah, everybody goes fucking stupid crazy for him.
And they're all reminiscing of where they were a year ago, blah, blah, blah. Biggest pop was Bobby Roode sat down.
Oh, of course.
Everybody lost their shit.
I'm happy that No Way Jose lost. Even after that stupid Congo line. Oh god, that Congo. This is why I hate him.
You know what didn't make any sense?
What?
The first person in that Congo line was wearing an Austin Aries shirt.
Yeah, but you can tell they gave it to him because he's wearing like a button shirt underneath it. They're like, here, just wear this and get out there and do the Congo line.
Somebody was like, wait a minute, should we not give him his opponent's T-shirt as he's walking in? So yeah, they had a great match. I'm not gonna go into details. And during the middle of the match, they sit Ric Flair down to the side of the ringside,
and they started booing
everybody, distracts everybody from the match. Then Austin Aries does that dive right in front of him. It goes woo right to Ric Flair's face, which was pretty funny.
Oh, Austin Aries.
And then after the match, Austin Aries starts beating down. No way, Jose, and Tommy comes down to save, and the crowd loses its fucking mind. He ruptured Austin Aries' eardrum.
Really?
During the kicks with his loafers.
He actually landed it.
With his sockless loafers. Those shoes looked weird. It was like
like him coming out without socks was a little awkward to me. I have no idea why. I don't know what did it, but Japanese men should always wear socks.
Okay. So he picked up Aries and hit him with the move he invented, the GTS, which CM Punk stole. And the crowd lost their shit, which was pretty dope. The next match was the debuting Ember Moon versus Billie Kay,
which was
actually the fight of Nightwolf versus Katana. As I call it, the Mortal Kombat thing. Yeah. The crowd was dead live. No reaction because they didn't know Ember Moon.
Yeah.
And Billie Kay got sort of a pop, but her weird theme music again. I guess the same Pure Mood CD that they got. Wesley Blake's theme song, they gave it to Billie Kay.
Which one was it in NXT Takeover, where they had that like little thing where Bayley's there and they're like, oh, you're an inspiration. Am I thinking of something else? Anyway, let's move on. So that match was quite interesting. What do you think of Ember Moon?
Well, she was trained by Booker T, so that's like you get some praise there. At first, the match was a little slow. Understandably, nobody knew who she was. They knew that this is a new girl debuting, and then the quietness. It was quiet in Barclays Center, and then a loud "Oh, holy shit!" when she hit her finisher, which I've never seen somebody do that. That was
amazing.
So perfect. Like, let me tell you something. Where it was like it went from 0 to 100. In terms of volume in that arena when she hit that, and by the end of the match, everybody was clapping.
I was gonna say, like, you know, when you're watching that match, everyone's sitting down, you know, especially people in the front, they're kind of just sort of getting into it. Well, once she does that fucking stunner from the top turnbuckle, with a twist,
around,
like everybody stands up just like, holy shit! That props to that one.
I was online trying to get I have a funny side story in that. I was trying to get food. And the guy was like, so he doesn't tell me anything. So, you know, I was like, this is probably going to be the match that I can take a piss, go get food and whatever. So all I hear is the, oh, and then the 1, 2, 3. So then I opened my phone to turn on the network and I rewind it a bit. And like me and like 4 other people online are watching it on my phone. And we see that and we all go, oh.
Oh, shit.
And then all of a sudden I get a text. So you're like, you need to come on. There's a Bobby Roode video going on now. So as I'm waiting, I'm like, oh my God, hurry up. This guy's like, oh yeah, it's going to be 20 minutes for hot dogs. I was like, after you charged me, it's going to be 20. It's like, no, just cancel it. And then I was waiting for soda. I was like, just give me the drink. He has the soda in his hand, right? And is dealing with that and forgetting to pour my soda. I'm like, guy, I have to go, please. I was trying so hard not to be rude because he was he wasn't
all there.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of the piece here. Is it? He was mentally challenged.
No, he was a little slow.
He was retarded, not just.
Oh my God!
Please.
He was.
You could edit that with glorious.
He was a little glorious.
So anyway, he. Speaking of Roode, then Bobby Roode comes out.
Oh.
The next matchup is Bobby Roode versus Dia.
Beautiful.
Almost. Or 100 almost.
So beautiful.
And boy, let me tell you something. The video package they have for him, where he was just like glorious, everybody gets hyped. What we didn't see because we weren't paying attention, a cherry picker or like the scaffolding thing was rolled out next to the stage and we didn't notice it. And under it, Bobby Roode was just hiding there for like 20 minutes. All of a sudden, the theme hits, the spotlights go on that. He just gets up, and then the arena, like one lovely choir and chorus, sings his theme song.
Such a great theme. Jesus.
There's a great shot that they have, and I think they pulled away too quickly. As he's coming down, I guess they pulled the camera away, but like he had that smile like, holy shit. I've done it because Bobby Roode's has been in TNA for so long.
Yeah.
And being in front of those small crowds and having to deal with the TNA bullshit, not getting paid, and especially when he's been there for a long time. So he tweeted a picture of him and Triple H when Triple H came back like in 2001 or 2002 from one of the quad injuries. Mm-hmm. He played a New York City police officer in one of the skits. Like, you know how they usually, for those, like, when Brock Lesnar or Undertaker fights, they get all these security guards. They're all indie wrestlers most of the time.
Yeah.
So, Bobby Roode tweeted a picture of Triple H and him. He played one of the cops in one of the skits that they did. And then he on the other side of the picture, it's Bobby Roode with Triple H before TakeOver. And it's fun. It's like, it's funny where you start and where you end. Bobby Roode's 38, so it's now or never. It's better now or never. And interestingly enough, AJ Styles said something about this a couple weeks ago in that Austin podcast where he was like, it was just the right time and the right fit. Where AJ Styles, one of the best wrestlers in the world, has been everywhere, and now it's sort of like the right fit. So who knows? With that, Bobby Roode and Cien Diaz, almost something. I don't like that guy. His fucking stupid suspenders. Yeah. I read spoilers for NXT for like the next month, and they said that he dropped the suspenders and the thing, and I was like, thank God. It's like, cause
that gimmick was way too fucking corny and way too fucking offensive.
Awful. He's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he does some good shit in the ring, but
that's not a gimmick you want to really give somebody.
And then the way they built him, it was just like, oh look, he's not a. What is it? He's not a luchador anymore. So this is what we're gonna do. So it's like, just do that. Like, have him be like, I'm not a luchador, but I still can kick your ass, and don't give him the ole gimmick.
Yeah.
A little underwhelming. Bobby Roode wins with a pump handle slam, which I'm like, oh, they should have gave him that fisherman suplex thing. That would have been awesome. That match is over, and then we're going down to our final 3 matches, and for me, which I believe it was the match of the night, the tag team title match between Johnny.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your match of the night.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus El Revival of Scott Dawson and Scott Wilder, blah, blah, blah. I've messed that up. Pretty sure I messed up their names because I'm a dick. It is Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. That was close. Anyway.
I actually still haven't watched that match.
You haven't?
Yeah.
We'll be watching that after this.
Yeah, I glossed over it only because I was pressed for time at the moment. But, yeah.
It starts off really slow, but then the match, like, picks up. And when I say picks up, it is so good. The crowd investment and everything. Mm-hmm. There's a couple good fake-outs. I'm not going to spoil it because I want you to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and it's great storytelling and kind of like old-school tag team wrestling where it's like the heels will do anything to keep the titles. And in a non, like, they do dirty moves, but they're clean and legal and all that other good stuff. The Revival obviously get the win. They still tag team champions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The next, we get the reveal of the ugly ass CWC trophy by the Orange Cat.
Yeah, it looks kind of silly.
That skit was very cringeworthy.
Yeah, because like they just go, wow, yeah, that's, thank you guys so much. It's an honor. That was it. There was no real fanfare to it. There was nothing interesting about that whole shoot. But yeah. Okay, so Asuka.
Before that.
Oh man, I want to talk about that one.
I know, real quick. We get a picture of Sasha Banks who gets a cheer.
Yeah.
Of Becky Lynch. Oh, Becky Lynch is so pretty. In person, she's really pretty. Like, you could see the orange in her hair from where we were sitting. It's like, oh, there's Becky Lynch. And then Charlotte. What was funny is, like, they're, like, cheer Sasha and Bayley. They go over to Charlotte. They fucking boo her out the building. It was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
and Charlotte's being so nice. She's like, oh, well. But you know what? You get booed like that means you're doing your job right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Bayley comes out for her final NXT match. Mm-hmm. And then Asuka comes out with the sheet and the ghoul mask. And I was like, game over, son. You're done.
God, that was a good match.
I was trying to find you the Asuka mask, but there was only one stand that had them, and it was like super long, and I was like,
yeah, that's cool. But yeah, like that was my match of the night. I thought it was a really well orchestrated match. I like I do like the turn, like the way it starts where Bayley's just on the ropes, Asuka's just like tossing her around. Then you have Bayley kind of have her comeback moment, and it still kind of feels like Asuka has the upper hand. And then
hit me in the fucking face. Boom.
Bam. It's like, that's the last thing you wanted.
Game, son. GG Bayley.
Yeah, I like the way she went out in that one. I really do. It was a good match. It's a really good match. I like Asuka. You know that.
I know you really do like Asuka. So she kicks Bayley out of NXT, literally.
Bayley. You know what I like? I love the end too when she picks her up. She's like, "You're okay? Are you okay?"
Right,
and she hugs her, and it's like, "Oh."
It was sort of similar to the Sami Zayn Nakamura match where Nakamura was like, "You okay? I killed you, but are you okay?"
I killed you, but. Speaking of killing somebody via Shinsuke Nakamura, we'll get to that. I know.
We'll get to that.
Jesus Christ.
But Bayley rolls out of the ring, gives hugs to everybody. She hugs Sasha, Becky, everybody cheers. She hugs Charlotte, which again they boo the shit out of her.
Did you see Becky Lynch's face when she got pinned? That's acting 101. No, but she was like, because she's on the edge. I don't know if she knew or not, but she's on the edge and she's just like you can see in her face.
It's general sadness.
No.
Well, it's funny because if I didn't see it until I watched the video again, I thought Sasha was smiling. I was like, "What the fuck are you smiling about? Your friend just lost. That's terrible." Becky looks devastated, and you're there like, "Oh well." So, she hugs her mom, and then she this was the funniest moment because I don't think you could really hear it when you watch it, but that Izzy, the super fan, is there, the little girl that dresses up and her followers are everywhere. Bayley goes to give her a hug, and they put her on camera like she's crying and stuff, and the crowd just started booing. I was like, leave it to Brooklyn to boo an 8-year-old girl. I was like, that was fucking funny to me.
I have a question for you as somebody who's kind of new to this whole thing. Is she a plant? Is she
no, she's a legit
plant, or is she
her parents if I'm not, I could be wrong. Her parents take her to Full Sail because they live in Florida. And she just goes to all the NXT shows. There's a great video of after the Iron Woman match from Takeover, her and Sasha talking. Because if you've seen that match, that's the one where Sasha takes her bow and throws it at her. Mm-hmm. And Sasha makes the little girl cry, which is the best heel thing ever. She's just like, and so great. So after all that happened, she kind of just started showing up. And then Bayley, I guess now that she's they know her parents will fly her to the takeovers to go see Bayley and stuff like that.
Huh.
So who knows? Maybe WWE's paying for it now that they know. But
that's a big draw. Was she there when they introduced her in WWE in Raw?
I don't know. I didn't see it. Probably not though. You would guess the kid probably had to go back to score some shit.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
They couldn't have picked a better kid. This is not to sound mean, but she just looks like a cancer kid. She has that innocent look where you're just like, oh, bless her heart, bless that child heart.
You can leave that all in. I don't care. So interesting on a side note about that. You know what I'm starting to see a lot more of, and it started showing up 2 years ago, and now it's getting bigger and popular. Cosplaying at wrestling events.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a story about that. When during the Bayley and Asuka match, I got a little distracted because there was a dude in a Ric Flair robe going up and down the stairs on the opposite side of the camera side, and he's just cutting a promo as he's going up and down the stairs, and everybody's cheering him on and shit like that, and it was great. Funny. But also, if you see Nakamura's entrance, which we'll get to in a second, on the left hand side there was these Japanese Nakamura signs. That guy, I saw him when I first got into the arena, full Nakamura cosplay. He came all the way to Japan just to watch the match.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, they are awesome. And if you ever see when they go to Japan, the WWE, all cosplayers. There's a group of cosplayers. One guy was Kevin Owens, one guy was CM Punk. I'll tell you to look up the picture after this. Or no, that TV's not on, right?
No.
Don't worry about it. But it was amazing. So no, then there was this black girl. She was cosplaying as Tyler Breeze.
Huh, that's funny.
Yeah, dude, a lot of cool. And then one guy was one of the Young Bucks, and I was like, boo, you fucking mark.
Boo.
I was like, I like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and all that, but that was the other thing too. During the main event, there was a Kenny Omega Terminator thing where they just kept doing the. That was pretty great, yeah.
That's awesome.
And speaking of which, main event time. Nakamura and his sexy violinist come out.
Well, the violinist came out first, which, man, talk about dramatic.
That's Nakamura for you though. If you ever watch his Wrestle Kingdom ending, his Wrestle Kingdom entrances, they're all like that awesome. Yeah. So, but that's crazy that it wasn't even all that flair. It was just like violinist. And it's like, this is one of the greatest things I've ever watched. And then Nakamura just slowly dancing around him coming in. And I was just like, oh. You ever seen the video of him when he fought Zack Sabre Jr. in England? He came out with a geisha and she was dancing. His wife.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're like slow dancing to the ring, and I'm like, oh, he makes everything so cool.
Makes everything like butter.
But it was so amazing. You know what? And more and more that I've watched this entrance, I noticed little things. So like, as a violinist is doing his little intro, he hits that chord, that doom, and then the light changes, and I was like, oh.
That's like the first thing you noticed, dude.
No, I didn't.
I'm gonna slap your butt cheeks. No,
I didn't, because when I was there, the first thing I did was trying to put my erection down.
So would you say that Nakamura is the sugar in your coffee?
He very much is. he you know what's funny? And then I started thinking, so imagine that little simplistic, like just one chord, boom, music. Imagine what his WrestleMania entrance would be like.
No, Jesus Christ.
Comes riding in on a white horse.
And comes riding in on a white Japanese horse. We
probably
got
float.
This horse all the way from Japan.
That would be amazing.
The horse comes in, speaks Japanese. Even
I know. That's
horses
racist.
like this.
That's racist.
Anyway, but yeah, he comes out and
resurrects Michael
You know what's
Jackson.
really funny about that too is that he comes out with this violinist. Violinist is like fucking talented as hell. And the most serious face I've ever seen in a violinist. He's like, yeah, Nakamura. So he gets in the ring, and then Samoa Joe just comes out. Like that was
Samoa Joe. Like, wait, that's the mystique with Joe. It's just like, oh fuck, Joe's coming to fuck you up.
He doesn't give a shit about all this.
But then everybody chanting Joe.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Joe's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him. And then he says it too. As he's walking in the ring, he's like, I'm here to bring pain, and he's like talking shit as he's going to the ring.
He's doing a promo as he's walking to the ring.
And you know what my favorite thing is about that entrance, and this is something that I wish they would do on the main roster a lot more. From Nakamura's beginning of Nakamura's entrance to the time the bell rang, so after the introductions and everything, the announcers didn't say shit.
Yep.
It was quiet. It was like, these guys are coming in the ring. Joe comes in, fucking pushes him.
Yeah,
Nakamura tries to kick him around the referee. I was like,
awesome.
That's awesome. It's like, oh, these guys are
good. And then like Nakamura standing in the ring with his jacket on, just like, all right. Like after they do the push and the kick, they're standing there just like grilling each other. I was like, that's awesome. Like you're right. That's something they don't really do in WWE or the main roster that much. I mean,
another subtle thing is Nakamura dancing to Joe's theme. As Joe's coming out, Nakamura's like,
yeah.
There was
he's a presence.
He very much is. There's a tweet that I saw that made me laugh about the entrance to Samoa Joe, the difference. All right. He was like, Joe's entrance following Nakamura is the equivalent of being with the most beautiful girl on earth and her 300-pound cage fighter brother suddenly walks in on you.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Oh, man. So let's talk about that match, man.
That match was good. It wasn't the best in the world, but it was hard hitting.
It was really good.
I think the match would have won a little bit longer had not Nakamura fucking dislocated Samoa Joe's jaw.
See, dude, so here's the thing. I was watching so I showed Tim. Mm-hmm. I showed Tim the match between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, right?
More on that in another video.
I just wanted to show him. I was just like, look, this is what's happening here, right? And he was like, wow, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, in a really long time. And he goes, to be honest with you, like, show me something else. Like, so I was like, oh, well, let's do it, right? So I was like, yo, NXT Takeover, you got to see it, right? So I show him the match with Asuka. I show him fucking Bobby Roode. I show him Shinsuke. And he's getting really into it. He's like, holy shit, they're actually doing, like, legit moves. More than just, like, the regular wrestling moves. They're actually doing, like, MMA moves and stuff. And he was getting into it. But as we're watching the Samoa Joe match, he goes, oh, no. He goes, this is it. He goes, you can see this is the moment where he's not playing anymore.
Josh's jaw was like...
Yeah, he was like, he can't close his mouth. His jaw's dislocated. And you can see... It's when Nakamura gets on the
first
top.
One. It's the first one.
No, it's the first one.
Yeah.
But when Nakamura gets on the top rope and kicks him in the back, And the way he falls, it's like, yeah, he's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to give Joe fucking
not
credit.
Coming back in.
Not only did he take that first move, then he took a second one to the fucking face. He takes
the second one to the face, gets pinned, and sells the pin, which is what I can admire the fuck out of that, because
Joe's a tough dude.
He sells the pin knowing that his jaw is out, and as soon as, like, you know, he's up and standing with the belt and everything, he's like, okay, time to go. Oh, man, but you could... Oh, that pain. Just a look of pain on Samoa Joe's face is like...
So Stone Cold was talking about, like, on his podcast this week, he was talking about the next opponents for Brock Lesnar, and he says we want to see Roman Reigns fight him. I do want to see Roman Reigns
get his ass beat
because
Brock Lesnar.
Sort of. But you know who would really give Brock a fight for his fucking life? Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Joe would beat the shit out of him. Just like, oh, you want to punch me? Joe would be like, you want to punch me, motherfucker? Let's go. Ah.
Oh, man, how sad was that? Oh, I won't talk about that yet. I was going to talk about the Finn Balor thing. But I won't talk about that.
Do you want to do that separate video? Or?
Yeah, why not?
We'll do separate so it's not long. People be like, NXT, yes.
Okay, so Nakamura holding the NXT belt. What do you think? How does that look?
I'm very yay over it and also nay at the same time, because then that means he's going to be in NXT a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that the WWE needs to take advantage of now.
You know, it was funny.
He's still like in his late 30s.
I wanted to talk to you about that because do you think that Nakamura's whole thing, like his whole presence, his stage, his gimmick, his everything he has, do you think that's something that can translate well to a much bigger arena like the main roster? Because I feel like in the smaller ring with NXT, that closer, tighter community, even with because even when you watch New Japan, right? New Japan kind of still keeps that kind of feel, even though it's very grand and you know. And I think he excels really well at that. He has this entire stadium cheering for him. Do you think he could have the same kind of like fanfare in a much bigger arena and a much bigger pool?
Yes, because the casual WWE audience has never seen anything like that before. Look at why Jeff Hardy worked so well. Jeff Hardy was this weird enigma who came out, did like these crazy moves, and then he was always...
Yep. Welcome to Harlem. This is what we do. We ride motocross bikes in the middle of the street, which apparently is illegal. But, you know, it's okay.
Fucking...
yeah.
Jeff Hardy was this weird enigma because of that, and he then backed it up by doing these high death-defying acts, and it was crazy, and it was good. Terrible on the promo, but, you know, it's something you haven't seen before. And Nakamura's entrance, his kicks, the way he sells things, that he looks like he's dying. Like, he has the complete package. Even JR, like Jim Ross, who's critical about everything, was like, what a fucking entrance. And everybody says it. A lot of the old school wrestlers who still like comment like, these young guys are shit and this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're like, man, this guy is it. Austin, who's already critical on everything, he's like, this guy has everything. Like,
with that being said, with what you just said, comparing it to the other NXT members who have made it out, and I'm just talking recently, like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor even, especially seeing Sami Zayn right now, where he's
limbo,
kind of like muddling around in like the bottom of the mid card, like
which he shouldn't.
He really shouldn't. And I think even the same thing kind of with Kevin Owens, where they kind of team up Kevin Owens with other superstars, even though Kevin Owens, I think, is strong enough on his own to do his own thing.
Kevin Owens is probably the best person to have on the main roster. After AJ.
And well, that's the other thing I was gonna say. Like the way they kind of bill AJ Styles right now, where it's just like, or the way they've built him up, where it's like, okay, the club is always gonna be the one to have his back. And now it's like, well, now in SmackDown, he's beaten John Cena, and now he's writing this
top guy.
Yeah,
right now. He's
even writing
bigger than Ambrose. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's writing that, like, I defeated the Giant
cleanly.
That's why I'm saying, like, do you think WWE? Shinsuke Nakamura is a great talent. That's great, but do you think the main roster?
Yeah.
is
I'm saying
is
confidently.
able to use him properly. That's the question.
Yeah, because Vince knows this guy. I don't need to do anything.
Just
and Nakamura seems to be like the guy's like, you need me to get a reaction from the crowd? Oh, I will. Can you imagine? Let's say you have this cool, calm, and collective. You have, Shinsuke is like, he's the smart. And this is like how the announcers, if I were the announcers, especially with Corey Graves being on Raw.
Yeah.
This is why you have Corey Graves on Raw. You calling up all these people. That's why I said when Finn came up, I was like, Corey Graves and Byron, who both covered him in NXT, are like, look, this is why he's the shit. This is why you should fear him. This is why. And Corey Graves is so good at doing that. Fucking Byron Saxton. Like that's why I kind of want Michael Cole to like just go away. And then even with Morrow, like I like Morrow, but I feel like he's very formulaic. Where he's like, Stefan, did you see that move that he did? And it's just like always over dramatic, and I love it.
I like Brian Saxton actually. But anyway,
really,
yeah,
that's
do.
funny.
Why?
Byron,
so weird?
Good God, Byron Saxton. I'm gonna give a WTF moment. Shout out to the sick guy, King Ross.
WW.
No, but in all seriousness,
you know who I don't want to hear from anymore? No. JBL.
It's John.
Like the thing is like we'll
get to that. We'll get to that in another video.
Okay.
We'll do that during the summer.
That's not
so the Nakamura thing, I feel that Nakamura in himself is an event. He's somebody you would pay to go see, and his entrance like on a regular NXT, it's like, holy shit, that was dope. And he comes out and the crowd is playing, but that's the thing. This is how you build him, where it's like, this is cool and calm Shinsuke Nakamura. Nothing bothers him. What happens when Nakamura finally snaps and is kicking everybody's heads off, doing submissions? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can build him any way you want. And you can make him this eccentric guy that, we don't know how crazy Nakamura can get. What if he completely snaps?
Hey, man.
And he's choking people out.
He can turn heel. I like him as a heel, too.
And that's the best thing.
It's sad that I want to see Roman Reigns do something good. Anyway,
because Roman's a good wrestler. However, he's a terrible thing. I'll tell you something somebody proposed on. I'll save it for the match.
Okay.
So with that was NXT. What letter grade would you give it?
If I had to give, man, here's the problem.
We'll do this. Okay. We'll do this. We'll do letter grade, match of the night, and your MVP.
Well, I was gonna say with the letter grade, right? Being that it was in the same weekend as SummerSlam, it's hard not to be like, well, was it better than SummerSlam? It was way better than SummerSlam. So, like, a letter grade for me would be like an A because of the fact of SummerSlam was a little flaccid. If I was doing my damnedest to try and remove it from there, I would probably still give it an A. I thought it was entertaining throughout. Even the match that, like, the Ember Moon match where it's like, oh, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I don't really care. But it delivered. I felt like every match was well paced. Didn't feel like it went on too long. Didn't feel like it dragged on too long. And you have these like, and NXT's real good at this, where they just have these like superstars. Like they have these people that you just want to see more and more of. I would give it an A. Match of the night, Asuka and Bayley for me. An MVP would either have to, and you're gonna be like, what? Would either have to be Samoa Joe or Bayley.
That's cool.
I would, because Bayley, I know this was her last match in NXT. She, like you said, she literally got kicked out of NXT. But she put on a really, really good match with Asuka.
The little subtle thing that I love is when she was walking up the ramp and she didn't even make it about herself. She was like, she pointed at the NXT sign, like, no, this is bigger than me. Most of the wrestling podcasts do that, like that format. So I'm gonna add one more. What was your moment of the night?
Moment of the night. Oh, I think you know what my moment of the night was.
Asuka kicked Bayley's fucking head up.
No, Asuka getting pinned and then anyway. Did you see the little wires that came out of her bra?
Oh, the weird bar things to keep her breast in.
Yeah,
what was
they actually
somebody
popped out
and
she had to like push it back in like secretly. It was really funny to me.
I think it was King Ross on WTF.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck are these things?" Anyway, I would have to say my moment of the night was Bobby Roode.
The entrance and everybody singing. That's cool.
That was nice to see.
For me, I'm gonna bunch up the NXT stuff too that they shot before. My moment of the night was Ty Dillinger's pop.
Okay.
Because, like I said, for somebody that works their ass off so hard, for him to get that response and everybody going crazy, and you can see him like he's like, oh my god, and that
like
can you like it was you can ask Jimmy, dude. When after that entrance, I like felt my arm, dude. Every goosebump was up, and I was like, can you imagine like you're a wrestler, you come out and everybody's chanting your shit.
And then you felt Jimmy's Jimmy.
No, I didn't.
No.
Match of the night, the Gargano Ciampa versus the Revival. That shit was amazing. It was amazing balls, and the way that the Revival did their stupid shit. Their stupid shit. My MVP, of course, was Shinsuke Nakamura.
Of course.
Just because he commanded a crowd just with a violin and just dancing, and then the sweet wrestling moves.
The sweet wrestling moves.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Come on, dude! Fucking Samoa Joe, propping him up on the turnbuckle. They're fucking like kicking him in the back of the head. Like, come on, Samoa
Muscle
Joe.
Buster.
Anyway, Muscle Buster.
Oh, there's a. I don't want to talk about it because there's NXT spoilers. But if you don't want to hear it, just turn off the podcast now. So apparently, oh, you don't want to hear it either? Okay, cool. That's all you have to say. But something Samoa Joe does something cool. He's back. Like he doesn't. I don't think he's gonna miss any time.
What weird. I just have a quick question for you. This is just me being a new guy. Why was NXT only on the network?
It used to be on Hulu originally, just on Hulu, and then.
Well, I mean, like it was live on the network instead of just live on. Is it always live on the network?
Now, since the network has started, it's live.
Oh, I thought it was on USA.
No.
Wherever.
Oh, you mean like weekly NXT?
Yeah.
No, now it's only exclusively on the network, and then Hulu gets the reruns. Wednesday is 8 is like its technical time.
That's weird. Okay.
All right, guys.
1A.
Well, thank you for listening to our first episode of the Uptown Strangers Wrestling Show.
The untitled wrestling show.
Strangers Wrestling. I don't know. Strangers Wrestling.
Strangers wrestle each other down.
No. I like the Body Slam This podcast, but it's not a podcast. It's just a video. For now, until we litter iTunes with all our garbage.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe at the bottom. Tell us your thoughts on NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. And as always, don't forget to be
glorious. No